Has this ever happened to you? Started something and never finished it? And if you said yes to both of those questions, we have the solution for you. It really isn't we, it's just me. I'm kind of lonely, so it's not we, it's just presenting Yagna, the art of doing something just for the sake of doing it. So let's quit the crap and get right to the point. Something that sets apart the ones that reach their goals from the ones that don't is the art of consistency. We live in a world that gives us a million things to talk about, a gazillion things to think about, and maybe even more things to worry about and do. In an age where knowledge and information is at a hand's reach, how do you know what you have to learn and what you shouldn't? And even if you find out what you want, how do you complete it? How do you learn it in all its entirety? What most people do is they start something off thinking that this is something that I'm going to do for a very, very long time to come, but they end up quitting pretty soon, sooner than we actually anticipated them to. They may have genuine excuses, but excuses at the end of the day aren't going to get you any kind of results. One thing that definitely does get results is work. And when it comes to any kind of creative process, be it filmmaking, photography, music making, cooking is still considered creative, right? We as artists must learn that consistency is something that you will have to learn to become a better artist. And this isn't limited to only artists. It all comes down to a person who wants to improve. I think I've already made a video on this. And you can go on and on about how important consistency is. At the end of the day, it all boils down to one question that everyone has. How do we do it? How do we be consistent? So Yagna is an extremely simple concept in itself. But as you practice it, like any other thing there is, it tends to become more knotted, more complicated. And the sooner we realize that the simpler we keep it, the better it is for us, the more efficient the process becomes, the better it is going to get for us. Yagna is the art of doing something just for the sake of doing it. No feelings attached, nothing reciprocated, no positives and no negatives. You might say, but I want to cook because I love cooking and for no other reason. Honestly, if that works for you, then good. Because for the vast majority of creators, consistency and looking for something that pushes them, a constant source of motivation, is extremely hard to find. And like I said, when it comes to a creative process, an artist does his or her best in a state called flow. A state of no hindrance at all, a state of no resistance, a frictionless state where nothing holds back the artist, or simply the artist just goes with the flow. To put it into simpler words, it is like Goku's Ultra Instinct. The concept of Yagna was written down in a book in which it also had another thing called Vasanas. Vasanas is basically something that a person does or a person does not. Vasanas and karma aren't the same thing. Vasanas are the doings and undoings of a person, while karma is the result. And the book stated that based on these Vasanas, the surroundings of a person may or may not cooperate in the person's doings and non-doings. And by the surroundings of a person, I mean the elements that are beyond one's control. So if one has extremely good Vasanas, these elements cooperate with the person and in fact help them in doing whatever it is that they're doing and want to achieve. And just in case the person's vasanas aren't that great and the elements aren't cooperating with him, we Indians perform a ritual called Yagna. Yagna is a ritual where you try to please the gods, the elements of nature, to help one in their doings and undoings. So the question is, how does one do it? How does one achieve the state of Yagna? Now there are certain things that one can do to get to the state. One, keep it as simple as possible. Do not overcomplicate stuff, do not get tangled with feelings, and most importantly, take breaks. Number 2. Choose something that helps your mind run. And by run, I mean flow. And this can be achieved by something that you enjoy doing, be it cycling, running, listening to music. And in the end, it all comes down to finding the zone. And once you're in the zone, you indulge in your activity. You do what you wanted to do. Try not to consciously think about whatever it is you're doing. Keep everything that you think you might need at a hand's reach, be it snacks, water, or maybe even your mobile, but keep it on silent. A quote that I absolutely love is, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, either way, you're right.